Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 99. For real, don't believe the liars who said last week was episode 99. For Thursday, February 19th, 2026, Marty Sleva here, joined by Nick Calandra, Casey Wosu, and producer Eric. Casey, we're glad to have you back, even though it's on an episode that there's just going to be some bad news.
I mean, you know what? That's just usually what the show is. So
that's just every episode. But we have a big one for you today. We're going to talk about the kind of the new trend of single player games getting longer tails thanks to support from developers and publishers post launch, and how that kind of encourages us to revisit games. We'll be having kind of a 1,000-foot view discussion about spoilers. And listen, before you don't get, we're not spoiling anything from Resident Evil 9. I don't want to get spoiled on Resident Evil 9. I'm excited for that game. I'm staying away from those. But we're just going to kind of talk about spoilers as a whole. How to avoid them if they impact us. What kinds of spoilers we don't want to hear. All the stuff we've been playing, but no, I don't want to go right into the bad news because we haven't been here in a while. I want to talk to Casey, but we were gonna start with the bad news that dropped today. But before the bad news, Casey, it's good to have you back.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys.
Missed you too.
Yeah, things were happening in the games world while I was away, and I would find out late, oh, PlayStation had a big ass showcase. Oh, they showed a lot of really cool shit. I don't know what to talk about this with. I'm surrounded by my family.
Did you guys see this God of War Metroidvania? Casey, you should have been a doctor.
But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I do. I feel like now, or I guess several months from now, is probably the best time to be a PlayStation owner because that conference was dope, and I like the last several conferences that other brands and publishers and stuff have all been really bad. So it's weird that Sony, who's been super quiet this whole time, is the only entity that seems to have like fun, cool looking games coming around the horizon.
And they didn't even show off like stuff like Wolverine, which we know is on the horizon.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love all that positive PR talk.
Right.
I was going to say, the other exciting thing about Sony is we don't know what some of their studios are working on. Some of the studios that they've had like a strong partnership with over the past 15 years, maybe a studio that they acquired 5 years ago and that has been quietly working on something since delivering probably the best launch game for the PS5 and Demon's Souls remake. And it turns out Sony has shut down Bluepoint Studios. The developers of the Shadow of the Colossus remake, the Demon's Souls remake, and then going even further back on PS3, the like remastered collections of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, the remasters of Uncharted. They've just been putting out really great work. This was a studio that came from the founders. It was an Austin, Texas-based studio. The founders were two people who worked on Metroid Prime at Retro, started this studio. Sony acquired them back in 2021 when nothing was real because COVID is forever and money will be infinite and no one will ever go back outside. And the news came today that they have just been shuttered and all 70 plus of their employees have been let go. They haven't released a game since the Demon's Souls remake, but the report came out that one of the 1,500 canceled live service games Sony was working on was apparently a game that they were doing, a live service game in the God of War universe. Which
because it works so well for Ascension.
We've gotten one multiplayer God of War game before, and it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't.
This sucks. This to me, it just felt like this studio. They kind of felt bulletproof to me because every game they put out was of high quality and those remasters scored really well. And from at least what I heard about Demon's Souls, sold really well. Well, yeah. What do you guys make of this, Casey?
I remember we often used to talk about when Bluepoint would get their chance to kind of just do their own thing because they seemed kind of stuck in the remake track. And like they executed such a high level of skill at doing those things, it seemed like they were primed to just get a chance to like a free ticket to just try something, and maybe it turns out to be big. And Sony is technically good for that. Like they've had other studios that will do things in a series, and then they kind of just let them have one of their own to break out. So it's weird, honestly, that this happened. It happened so soon. Like the thing that they were working on that apparently got canceled. Do we know if that was? We probably don't, but I'm wondering if it was like an original idea they had, like they wanted to do this live service God of War thing, or was this a mandate from Sony that said, "Hey, try your hand at this," but if it wasn't shaping up for the for the consequence to be everyone is gone and we're shuttering the whole studio, like that seems kind of wild to me.
Shinobi 602, who we've worked with in the past, who's a pretty reliable insider. Like he was the first one to ever leak like Horizon Zero Dawn concept art. He said they just, it's been 6 years since they released a game, and they just hadn't gotten anything off the ground even beyond this live service game, and so that made them kind of a prime target for cutting, because it's going to be another 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they're generating any revenue.
Yeah, it's aggravating. It's infuriating. And this feels like the fucking ghost of Jim Ryan still haunting this company, because
when you
during
think about
COVID,
making 15 live service games.
Because the idea is their whole thought process is, if one of them hits, if one of them becomes Fortnite, it pays for everything. But if none of them hit, everyone just gets fucking let go. And you made the decision for them to do this. You could have made the decision. You could have said, do the Bloodborne remake. You could have told them to do that. You could have told them to do, hey, remake one of these PS3 games that are locked in the console. Remake the Infamous trilogy. Remake Killzone. Remake Resistance. Or do something small that, like, do a new IP. It feels like if these fucking if people like Jim Ryan, who make these decisions, are going to have these broad sweeping mandates, we need to name these mandates. This should be like Jim Ryan presents the Sony initiative of 15 live service games. And so every time one of them fails or doesn't come out, Concord is a Jim Ryan problem.
Yeah,
I believe that this is not the problem of the developers. It is the problem of the people who are making these decisions. And I know, Nick, we've talked about it a million times, and we have, firsthand experience in management and the people with the purse strings not understanding the business of the creatives. Like we don't have to, go over that for 1,000th time, but it's fucking infuriating. It's just really aggravating.
Like, is there a single instance of any reporting of literally any executive, any of these publishers or companies taking any responsibility for these things ever?
It's like, was it like 15 years ago, Iwata at Nintendo?
Oh, right.
Like whatever that was, he's dead now.
But even
no living person.
But even then,
they killed him because of it.
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't like as noble as it was made out to be, because like that's kind of Japan's culture a little bit.
Sure,
or it was. Sure. But I can't think of any instance where it's like, damn, Jim Ryan, you really fucked up. You're fired. Nope, it's the studio that gets completely cut over it. Like, I've never seen a story of one of these fucking people taking a pay cut. I've never seen a story of one of these people having to answer to the shareholders and saying, hey, your strategy fucking sucks. Get out of this company before we lose another $100 million. Like, I made a post today that I was like, I want to see a goddamn graph that shows me how much money has been spent on these live service games and who has paid for it. Who? Yeah. Like, nobody. And like, somebody brought up Rocksteady, because Rocksteady wanted to make Suicide Squad, the live service game, right? Mm-hmm. Well, where did their founders go? Oh, the game's not going to be good. They knew that. So what did they do? They left the company and went started another company instead. That's not accountability. That's just dropping the bag on the people. It's like, I don't like, fuck, man. It's I don't want to talk about like world politics, but every single one of these rich and powerful fucking people takes 100%. Things, shifts the blame to everybody else, and we all got to deal with it, or people lose their jobs. It's fucking, I'm so fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
Same thing. And you're right. You brought up gamers, our former management, same goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. Like the people that made those decisions, CEO is still there doing what his thing is. Like, it's his right, his company, but fuck him. Fuck all these people. Fuck them.
I could be mistaken, but I'm wondering, like 10, 15, 20 years ago, was it also like this? I feel like there was more accountability in the past, or like there was at least more churn in terms of like heads of gaming companies when things went wrong. Like I remember very famously how Don Matrick was kind of like kicked out of the the industry after the big fuck up
Xbox One.
Like they kind of went like, that's all on this guy who was the face and the lead, and they kicked him out and then put new people in. It was like, hey, now we're doing a lot better, right? Like they really kind of sound him with that as a failure.
Aside from like games like the sports franchise and Call of Duty, they just games didn't print money like they do today. I don't think. Like it was a cumulative industry, but now you have Fortnite that makes $1 billion every day or whatever it is, and Tim Sweeney can do whatever he wants at this point, right? And like I don't know. I don't know. Like even Jim Ryan's one thing, but Herman Hulse has been in charge of this now for how many years?
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, because Jim Ryan,
and it's like, where's his accountability for it? Yeah. It's like, where is your accountability for doing this?
You don't need accountability. We got another Horizon game coming.
Horizon MMO, Horizon Live Service game, Horizon TV show.
Did you guys know there was a Horizon Lego game? And it's real?
Yeah.
And it exists and you can buy it on Switch?
Yeah, I thought it was odd.
It's not a real game. It's a fake game.
I thought it was odd. There's like a psyop going on with Horizon. Like
Horizon's Herman Hulse's baby.
It feels like it thinks it's way more popular than it is. Or is it just me? Is it?
No, I mean, it's sold 40 million copies.
Casey, I know you follow the music industry, and there's legit conspiracy theories of like industry plants, and it feels like an industry plant. It's like, is this Dochi? Is that what this is?
Dochi is not an industry plant. Take that back.
I don't know. I like that one song.
Take that back.
Oh yeah, what's song?
Dochi's legit. Jack Harlow, absolute industry plant.
Okay. I like that. I'm sorry. I had the right gun, but I shot at the wrong target.
Yeah, shot at the wrong person.
AC obviously can't say anything on this, but I mean, from people that I've even spoken to that aren't KC that work at Ubisoft, like there's no accountability going on there for the leadership. They're just moving into these ABCD, new subsidiaries that they're building. They're not, none of these people that made the decisions that brought Ubisoft to where they are leaving. They're just changing the names.
Yeah. Well, even the same thing, the news came out that, which I think you're going into, I think on Tomorrow's Unpacked. I've literally read Tomorrow's Unpacked, and it was yesterday, and I'm assuming you touch on the news that came out that Tencent was the early kind of angel investor for Highguard.
And the founders come out and say, it doesn't matter what our player accounts are. It's like, well, turned out that was bullshit.
Yeah.
And I gave them the benefit of the doubt because like, you said you're an indie studio, and it's like, yeah, you're still independent, but you owe some money, boys.
We need more words. We need to create more words for these sizes of studios. Like you go to it's not just indie, and like if you go to buy a bed, there's like 30 different sizes of mattresses. There's a Wyoming King. What developer is the Wyoming King?
Rockstar.
Rockstar is the Wyoming King. Where it's like, how many people are asleep in this bed?
Do they have like Mormonism in Wyoming? Is that what that's going for?
Utah. It's big. I was in Utah over the summer, and I saw what I think was a ton of sister wives. It might have just been a group of girls, though.
Is a Wyoming?
This is regular sisters.
Is a Wyoming King like one of those massive king bed with like the canopies on it?
It's too big. It's like unreasonably big. Have you guys ever slept in a bed that is too big? Like you're like, this is uncomfortably big.
I don't think I have. No.
Like one that would take you too many rolls to get out. Okay, I'm not a rich and powerful. I just slept in big beds. I've only been to the island once, Nick.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Lost.
I like that you thought about Lost instead of me being one of history's worst monsters. That was nice.
I have context for you.
Thanks. Really quick, the other. I'm sure there's many stories of bad industry things, but the other thing that popped up earlier today was a new studio founded by Jake Solomon, the creative director of Firaxis of XCOM 2 and Marvel's Midnight Suns, started a new studio and had a project called Burbank, which sounded really cool, which was almost like The Sims meets The Truman Show. It's almost like The Sims, but more about like manipulating them in interesting stories. Anyways, announced that they had to cancel the game and shut down the studio. So again, one of those things, Midsummer Studios, which has not been around that long because he was a creative director on Midnight Suns, which doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Also, that game was good and no one played it. I mean, I played 5 hours of it, so maybe I'm the problem as well.
I played a good chunk of it. I never finished it.
So
I think it came out too close to Christmas. That's not a Christmas game. It's too horny to be a Christmas game.
The big problem with that game was like its combat scenarios just weren't interesting enough. They were on the same map.
Cards. Get your cards.
They said cards.
The cards is fine.
As soon as they said
were
cards,
fine.
I just completely.
It just wasn't tactical enough.
I don't want cards. I just wanted punching.
You play Marvel Snap. What do you mean you don't want
I don't
cards?
play Marvel Snap anymore.
You
Ever since I went to the island, I stopped. I shut off. I gotta stop making this joke. This is a bad bit. This is a bad bit.
I don't know what island you're talking about. It can't be the island.
The one from Lost. The one from Lost.
Of.
The one from Lost.
Somebody said Japan in the comments.
It was Japan.
Japan was
obviously.
Yeah. You were in Japan.
Konnichiwa and whatnot. Yeah, sumimasen.
Right.
But yeah, the story sucks. I don't know.
I just like desperately want to see accountability for these people. Like it drives me fucking insane. Every single story is, hey, these people are fired. Okay, and what else? Nope, that was it. I'm like, okay, no salary cut for the people that strategize these things. No, nothing.
Yep.
No, they just do the next one, and if it fails again, oh well, too bad. Like,
yeah,
they're all in the club, and we ain't in it.
No, exactly that. Like all of the dialogue from these heads of studios and executives or whatnot are very clearly pointed at investors and investors only. And so players and staff are completely just left in the dark and as afterthoughts constantly. And I'm not sure what needs to happen to get that to change.
Well, even when we were in the media space, like not even gamers, like back at Enthusiast Gaming, like being in those. Like I was not anti-corporate like I was after Gamers happened, but like I would come into those like C-suite meetings for Enthusiast Gaming when we worked there, and these people speak another fucking language. Like they don't speak like people. It just I'm like sitting in those meetings like
they're lizards wearing human skin.
Yeah, they're literally lizards. I just like I'm sitting there like what are these words that are coming out of your mouth?
Yeah. Once you get rich enough, you are no longer a human being. You're a lizard wearing human skin. Simple as that.
That's why money's green.
That is exactly why money's green. They knew about the lizard shit way before billionaires even existed. Do you think when they made money, they figured that someone would have this?
They really could grow it on trees. Oh, well,
I think they would have been like, we shouldn't make this. We shouldn't do money if 5 people can have all of it. We should think of something else.
I mean, it's honestly just paper. Why can't we just take?
There was no way to know.
There's really no way to know. All my money, I get paid in gold. I have a bunch of bullions in my basement. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Costco did have sales on gold like a little while back, and I was like, "That's weird."
Yeah,
they were on to something. They be
on to something. Yeah, I wait until the next gold is buy one get one, and I'm like, I'm gonna go nuts on gold.
The next time Costco offers you like something strange, like, "Hey, we've got rare earth minerals," you know what?
Fuck it, they know something we know. That's how they keep their hot dogs so cheap. Moving on, there's no segue. I guess this is a slightly more positive story, but we just wanted to kind of to highlight something good going on is that it feels like not a week goes by that I don't see this random single player game has gotten like a cool update. And whether that update is, it's now, we've ironed out bugs, or it's running better on Switch 2, or like, hey, we've fixed a bunch of systems. And, Ubisoft has been doing this a lot with like Avatar, with Star Wars Origins, like Capcom did it with Resi 8. And it's like, we're going to add like an entire third person mode to this, like stuff you don't need to do, but is done. And Nick, you were saying that you got back into Avowed this week, partly because of that.
Yeah, I think I've talked about Avowed a few times where like I don't know, Obsidian's games haven't really done it for me. Just I find their world a bit too static and all that. But we were sent a code for the PS5 version, and I know they've been working on it kind of continuously over the last year or so, and so I was like, I'll give it another shot, and clicking for me more than it did before. I'm pretty sure when the game came out, like the characters talking to you were very static. They just kind of stood still and did the old RPG talk to you thing. And now they
Bethesda
move
thing.
around a little bit. Yeah, now they move around a little bit and make faces and animations and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's something about that I like.
That's all it takes.
But they fixed some of the looting and the crafting and all that. They added some new weapons. Obviously, you can do new characters, but like you brought it up as a point of good stuff. I brought it up in the doc as more of a I can't keep up with every game I want to go back to, and it's very fucking annoying.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that's a problem, but in the grand scheme of problems, that's like not the worst problem.
But but like they do it though because like things like Steam sales, like every time you update a game around a Steam sale, it leads to another round of sales for a game that came out 2 years ago and doesn't really need any new content. But if you add a little update to it, then people get reinterested in it, and you get a whole new wave of buyers. So, it feels like more and more teams are like just kind of having little side teams that kind of keep supporting their old games while they're working on new ones, just to keep that revenue flow coming in. Because I think we've talked about that before. Like that's a problem that studios have. You release a game and then the revenue dries up until you release the next one. So how do you keep bringing in the revenue? Well, you update your game and keep getting new people interested in it.
Yeah, I do think that's a cool thing, because I think continually updating games is also something that like that's a good way to, I think, introduce new employees as well, to kind of instead of throwing them in the deep end on a new game, be like, hey, you can work on the updates we're making to Assassin's Creed Shadows or to Avowed or to No Man's Sky or whatever. And then the same thing with players, like it's just continually kind of refining so that it does. Do you ever get the feeling though that like I shouldn't play this game right now because if I wait, it will literally be better. Not even it will be cheaper. Like it will literally be better if I wait, which doesn't really exist. Like movies, you go to see them in the theater because that's probably the best they're going to look. They're going to look better than your house.
Unless you're Ridley Scott.
Unless you're Ridley Scott. This is true.
You always get a better one later.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like that for a lot of like big AAA releases these days, because I mean, it's obviously a joke in the gaming community, but it's not really wrong. Like Avowed came out and it was a little bit kind of lackluster. I'm not going to finish it now because they keep saying they're going to update it more, so I'll come back to it later. Starfield, we've been waiting for whatever massive update they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk
Monster
is a
Hunter Wilds
game, ostensibly.
Cyberpunk's a different game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, if it wasn't our job, like to cover new things all the time, I definitely would be one of those consumers that's like, Fallout 5 is coming out. I'm just going to wait a year for all the DLC and everything and then play it then. Kind of like I do with early access games.
Casey, does that ever go through your head? Like to wait because it might get better?
I don't think so, but like now that you're mentioning it, like maybe it's a thing I should consider more often, because there are instances. Well, I don't have the option because we're in this business, right?
Sure.
But I wrote a whole thing about the newer Lords of the Fallen because of how unbalanced its difficulty was at launch. Like I played that pre-release because I reviewed it. They did a ton of updates to make that game much more playable, and I'm sure it plays a lot better now. But I just have that taste in my mouth that I'll never go back.
Yeah,
like, it was bad when I played it, huge. But it's probably not anymore.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of one of the reasons I don't usually play early access games, because that is this whole thing, but just very upfront about it, and we'll tell you here's the date when we think it's done. And so that's why, I didn't, as much as I love Supergiant, I didn't play Hades or Hades 2 in early access, because I was like, I'll wait until it's done. And I'm glad I did. And I played them and I loved them.
Is that like the solution, you think, then? Like giving people that option of saying like, hey, we're releasing a thing. It's not perfect yet, so dive in at your own risk.
Well, that's like what a lot of early access games are doing now, is like they're really polished in their first chapter or whatever it's going to be. And then, because they need that, like they release an early access not out of that they want to usually, even though they play it that way. It's because they need the funding. They need people to buy it and play it.
Right. Yeah. They need some revenue to keep going. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I've kind of flipped almost, where I didn't used to play a lot of early access games right at launch, but lately I've been playing a lot more than I used to. Like I've put quite a few hours into Witchfire. I've put quite a few hours in Titan Quest 2, Sulfur, I would like to play more of No Rest for the Wicked, because like they're relatively solid games, and then as like it almost feels more like episodic releases at this point, where they've really polished up the first chapter, second chapter, third, and so on.
Did you like that though? Like,
I didn't used to, but I think if a game's like core mechanics are polished enough and I enjoy the loop enough, then I don't really have a huge issue with it. And there's some games that are obviously
built for replaying, right?
Yeah, there's some games that are obviously really shitty at launch and need a lot of work. But a lot of times those never make it to 1.0 anyway.
Yeah, those first impressions can burn people too. Like even if they do turn themselves around, it's like, well, it was bad when I played it. You just lose all interest.
Yeah. Totally. I think a lot of these early access releases now are that first whatever section they release is basically the final product, polished. Maybe they're going to update it as they go, and then it's polished enough that people are happy with their purchase out of the gate.
Yeah. I was talking with Eric, and I were talking before the show because we pay attention to dumb shit like the Switch 2 updates and upgrades of games and everything, and how Nintendo today just announced Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I've not played, but Eric fucking loves, put like a bajillion hours into the game. Got a Switch 2 update today, and it's like a 4K, it's like a frame rate and a resolution upgrade, like a great upgrade. It's $5. And that's it. It's just $5 to unlock that. And the weird thing about Nintendo is they don't have it in across the board. Some of their games, they're like, we add a bunch of shit and the upgrade is $10 or $20. Mario Wonder's coming next month and they're just adding a bunch of shit. Zelda and the two Zelda games added like the weird little you can go through Zelda's diary as you run around the world. And then other games, like I think Mario Odyssey, it was just like, oh, we just upgraded it. It's just free. And it's just there. And so it's like, what is the thought behind this?
I would suspect that this is testing the waters to do more like this in the future. But the fact that they have other more popular games coming out after this that are still free kind of confuses that. Like maybe those were decisions that were made before this one was made.
Yeah.
And it just, the timeline just didn't work out, but it makes them look insane.
I mean,
Nintendo is
their pricing
insane.
is insane. Like Mario Kart being $80, but Donkey Kong being $70. Like, why did any of this happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they thought people might go a little more gaga for Mario Kart, but
they screwed up.
They clearly didn't.
They fucked that up.
Yeah, and I'm that kind of relates to me waiting because I do want one of my big JRPG white whales is the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy. So Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, which eventually they're all on Switch now. But they haven't done the updates for that yet. And so that is a thing where I'm waiting on where I assume they're going to do it. And if I'm going to give it a real try to play these games, I want to wait until they're in the best shape. But I also don't. I assume they're going to do it. But I also assumed Wind Waker and Twilight Princess would have been on Switch when we started.
You've assumed that since you. Yeah,
literally when we
started about that since I met you.
For as long as we've been podcasting.
Someday, Marty, it's going to happen for you.
Who the fuck knows?
Just like that Bloodborne remake.
What a weird company. Oh my god. Why are you just bringing up stuff that's gonna get me mad?
You started it.
A couple super chats. Andrew Frangies, thank you so much with a $5 dono. Has anyone here played Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo? If not, you totally should. It is rad as hell. I played a little bit of it. And I want to play more. I know Jenna's a big fan of it.
Yeah, I know you and Jenna put time in.
Yeah. Did you play any of it, Nick?
I like the name.
Yeah, Pipistrello, it's a good name. Yeah, it's about a little it's like a kind of a top-down game where you play like a little mouse whose big thing is a yo-yo. And so it's almost like a Zelda-like, but your yo-yo does combat, your yo-yo's for solving puzzles, your yo-yo's for movement strats. It looks really cool. And yes, Eric says if it looks like a Game Boy game, Marty has played it. This is true. All you got to do is be like, hey, we kind of made it look shitty like a Game Boy game. Like, oh yeah, I'm there.
You play first-person Call of Duty if it looks like Game Boy?
I would play first-person Call of Duty if it looked like a Game Boy game. That sounds like a mess.
Yeah, that's a choice. So yeah, I would also be very curious.
There's a couple first-person shooters. for there was a canceled Resident Evil port for the Game Boy Color, not even Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. They tried to do Resident Evil 1 on it, and it looked like a disaster. There's a couple first-person shooters for the Game Boy Advance, Doom for the Game Boy Advance. There was a Ballistics X versus Sever game adaptation. Do you guys remember the film Ballistics X versus Sever?
Film? That was a movie?
It was just it's like a motion picture. You go to the movie theater, you pay the concierge money, and then you sit in a seat, and they put moving photographs in front of your eyes.
Are they allowed to name movies like that? I don't know.
Ballistics X versus Severed? Yeah.
That sounds like just a game title. That's a movie.
It sounds like a bad game title. It sounds like something that would show up during like Gamescom. We'd be like, oh, the fuck named it Ballistics X versus Sever.
Like you find it in the back of a mom and pop game shop.
It's kind of haunted. Kratos' therapist, thank you so much with a $5 dono. God knows he needs it. It still feels like Sony's incompetent obsession with live services is one of the biggest reasons this gen feels like it hasn't even gotten off the ground. I agree. Like I was noodling a column that was just called like "Shut the fuck up about a PS6." Like none of you get to talk about a new console yet. Like you haven't delivered whatever promise of this thing. All the best games, all my favorite games of this generation have been games that did not need this hardware to run. Like even a game as like great as Claire Obscure, like that wasn't. I don't think that was pushing my Xbox Series X to the limit.
Maybe just because of the particle effects.
There was a lot of particles.
When you think about like Sony Ben has not released a game this generation. Naughty Dog has not released a game this generation. Media Molecule has not released a game this generation.
Speaking of, there's no way we get through this calendar year without Media Molecule being closed, right?
Oh, being closed.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, like I feel like that has to be next on the chopping block.
I would have thought they would go before Bluepoint. I mean, everybody did, honestly.
The last game was Dreams, and their game before that was Tearaway, which was on the Vita.
Oh shit, you might be right.
Who made the PS4
Sony loves that
port of
boy.
Tearaway?
I don't know. Probably Bluepoint.
Oh no! Please no.
No.
Right. Media Molecule and Tarzero Studios, who just released Reanimal, worked on Tearaway Unfolded.
Oh, Tarzir worked on Tearaway. Okay. For a second, I thought you said Media Molecule worked on Reanimal because I forgot to put that down. I started playing that the other night, and I was like, that's insane. There's too much skin in that game. They can't make a game with that much skin. Not skin as in like, ooh, sexy skin, but just like the whole thing about that game is like empty skin husks everywhere and like little critters crawling in and wearing the skin. It's fucked. It's real nice. Fucked. Rally McFandango, thank you so much, a $2 dono. Always wait for the years later goatee edition. If I wasn't in this business, I would absolutely do that.
That's what I used to do. Yeah.
Get the best version of the game for cheaper. And if it just slides
unless you're Nintendo.
Yeah. Unless you're Nintendo, it's probably more expensive at that point. Blistered Soul, thank you so much for a £2 dono. Loving Cairn, my spoiler fear. Seeing the peak early. Don't get off the internet. Don't let anyone spoil Karen for you. Karen is a wonderful game to not be spoiled on. That game's fucking good. Nick and Yahtzee won't say it. I'll say it. That game's good.
Are you kidding
me?
Both
of them have said that game is good. Both of them have said it's good, and both of them finished it before me.
Marty was the one that was like, I didn't like the demo.
I didn't like the demo. Why did you have to give me the baby voice?
There's a baby voice in the demo?
I don't like the demo. What is the voice? What would you call that voice? Chode voice?
Like Homer voice?
Oh. Like the Odyssey?
It is Homer-like. Wrong Homer.
Yeah, that Homer, sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that one.
Sorry, what were you going to say? Because you said and then we started talking about Homer.
Oh, no, you said baby voice and demo, and I got confused that the demo had the character have a baby voice, and like that was different than the main game, and that's what turned you off? But I just completely misread what that sentence was going.
Did a poopy while I'm free soloing. God, that'd be a nightmare.
But I would understand why you didn't like the demo in that case.
Just turn it off. Just turn the sound off. But yeah, that game rules. And then Evil Overlord. Thank you so much for a €10 dono. Waited to restart my 60th Avowed Mage playthrough to get quarter saves and copy over the exact appearance my wife created with the new Camp Mirror, but also the new WoW expansion next week and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 DLC. Sorry, it wasn't 60th, 60 hour. I added a T, which made you sound insane, Evil Overlord. It made you sound like you're on your 60th playthrough of the game, which I was
only
done that for.
Episode 100 was going to be an intervention for you, Evil Overlord. Apologies. 60 hour, a very normal thing. Yeah, the WoW expansion's coming next week. Is the Clair Obscur stuff like there's an actual expansion, right? It's not just like the little goofy thing they released at the Game Awards.
No, it's like
I don't know.
No, it's what Eric's showing on screen. It's just like a kind of a new area.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's been out.
That's the thing they released right after the Game Awards. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just a little epilogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to go back to a game. Like I'm good to
when you
replay
beat the shit out of it. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, like after I'm kind of just done with Clair Obscur. I'll come back to it at some point, but I don't want to come back to it just for the DLC. Put on Switch. Charge me $5 extra. It's my kink. Having to pay Nintendo $5 extra to play.
I'm going to charge you $5 extra on your paycheck each month.
Nick, you were saying first off, that's $5 extra in the gold nugget I get every month. the gold nugget mailed straight to my house. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
You started saying I was saying something.
Yeah, you're always saying stuff. That's your thing. You
That's
love
true.
saying stuff.
Yes.
Any other thoughts on the single player games getting things?
Nah, we know why they do it.
We know why they do it. It's all, everything's because of money. No one does anything altruistically. It's all for money. By the way,
this for the love.
We have some great. We had some great content go up on Patreon if you want to see. Yahtzee read the lore of Bat. What is that thing called?
Bionicle.
Lego Bionicle.
Yeah, biological uncle.
A lot of people are very excited about that.
Bionicle is one of those things where I just didn't realize it was popular. Like to me, I always thought it was just like. I thought it was just Legos. Lego. Just Legos, right?
I know.
It was more of a
like
Connects
TV show.
Connects man. It's insane. There was a TV show for it.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
people cared about it.
Yeah. Obviously, don't watch the Bionicle video if you want to get spoiled on the Bionicle lore, which is something we all have to worry about now. Being on the internet in 2026 is accidentally stumbling into spoilers, which we don't want to happen. And this topic kind of stemmed from the news that physical copies of Resident Evil 9 have not leaked, like you can't play them, but like someone broke Street Drake, and so someone has played all of Resident Evil 9. Some spoilers are already out there, stuff for bosses, endings, all that stuff. We're obviously not going to cover any of that. I don't want it spoiled. I'm not going to spoil it for you, that kind of thing. But I just wanted to talk kind of about spoilers in general, because with our jobs, it's hard to avoid them. Sometimes we literally have to just suck it up and do it. Like I get spoiled on a lot of movies and TV shows because I edit Darren's columns, and it's just, I put it up on a Friday morning and the movie comes out on a Friday and I haven't had a chance to see it yet. And so I'm just like, well, this is what happens in the Bone Temple. Whole temple made of bones. They just they did the entire temple. They just put bones everywhere.
We could probably guess what happens in the Bone Temple, right?
Bone Temple.
you know what I'm saying?
Lots of bone and
but yeah, this has happened in the past with games pre-release like Tears of the Kingdom and The Last of Us Part 2. It even happens with big studios like the Pokemon Company has had the big leak. There was the Insomniac leak from a few years ago. That was it, the G-Force leak. That's still like almost all the games that were leaked on it over the past 5 years have been released. That kind of stuff. But yeah, like Casey, what's your temperature on spoilers? Is that something like that can really impact a first experience, or is it something you don't really care about?
I'm not sure. I feel like I've swayed a lot in regards to like my feeling towards spoilers. I want to say earlier on, or at least some time ago, I was like very adamant about not being spoiled on the things I liked. But I think it was mostly because the way people would spoil things seemed like malicious. Like when Harry Potter was like a big deal, like the last book was like coming
Snape
out.
killed Dumbledore or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that thing where like people
Wow.
were waiting in line like for
Spoiler.
hours. And then some dudes who like got it first like made a video out of like reading the ending to them while they're waiting in line. Like that just seems really shitty. So like it was always attached to that sort of energy that felt like someone who's being a jerk to other people who was attached to a spoiler, and therefore I don't want any part of that. Well, oftentimes when I'm spoiled on something and like maybe someone didn't mean to, or because I'm working behind the scenes on something, and I go and watch the thing anyway, it doesn't really affect my enjoyment as much as I thought it would. So I tried not to be as sensitive about it anymore, but I still very much think it's a jerk move to like intentionally try and spoil things for others. Like it's just really shitty behavior.
Agreed. Nick.
Then they blame it on you and say, get off social media.
It's not even social media, though. It's YouTube. Like, it's hard to get off YouTube. Like, that's the internet. I don't know. It's you roll up YouTube, and like I don't follow any of these people, but I remember like the night God of War Ragnarok came out. I went to go watch something on YouTube, and just like the first thing was like a thumbnail that was the fight at the end of the game, and I'm like, I didn't want to see this. Like, I didn't like walk into dangerous territory. I didn't go into the God of War subreddit. I wasn't on Twitter. I just fucking opened up YouTube, and this thing was served to me, and it wasn't even someone I follow.
My golden rule is if I'm playing a game that I have also know Yahtzee is playing, I will not talk to him until I'm done playing it.
That's very bad at not spoiling things.
He is so like, yeah, so this happened, and I'm like, damn it, Yahtzee. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's the worst.
Apologies to anyone who's ever been spoiled on an episode of Windbreaker. It's one thing if it's like a ZP or something, like if you go, or fully rambematic. Can't use that other one. But yeah, I got mad at him for a Donkey Kong spoiler.
Yeah, in our meetings, like he'll just openly talk about what he's playing. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, this all happens, and here's the entire story of the game. And I'm like, well, thanks, I was playing that.
What if I wanted to learn about it organically?
Yeah, it's funny. My thing
did it for you.
My thing is, I get mad less. I don't think I care about story spoilers, because I genuinely do think, if a story hinges on not knowing something, that story will not hold up. Like hold up to scrutiny, will not hold up on replays. Like it's a magic trick, and it sucks that you don't get to experience the magic trick, but so it is. I get mad for spoilers because other people, like I have like an empathy in me that it's like I don't want other people to be spoiled when they didn't opt into this. And I also the kind of spoilers, I feel like I don't want gameplay spoilers, which is weird. Like I kind of don't care about story, but like
that's weird. That is really fucking weird.
But not even.
Can I get an example? Like what would you describe as a gameplay spoiler?
No. Because you know what's good podcasting?
Just being like clear obscure. Oh my god, you asshole!
No. I finished one of the games I'll talk about in the next segment. Is this new indie, super tough as nails platformer called Love Eternal that I highly recommend. Well, I don't know if I highly recommend. I really enjoyed it. It is a tough as nails, like kind of Celeste-like, single. Get past the single screen and move on to the next screen. But it also does a bunch of other things that I didn't realize it does, and experiencing those other things really blew my mind. Like I was really like, oh, I didn't know what this thing was. And that kind of gets into like sometimes it's hard to talk about certain games like Frog Fractions or Doki Doki Literature Club. Like there's a whole genre of like, I don't know how to sell you on this other than please play it because I think you should. And those are the kind of things that are usually fun to experience the first time.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense for a story spoiler or a gameplay spoiler. Like I would say like the Outer Wilds would be all gameplay spoilers if you told people what you do in that. Yeah. But Call of Duty, you can't really spoil that gameplay. I mean, obviously, like we're in a unique position because of our jobs, but like if I know the next season of House of the Dragon is coming up, I just mute it from my social media completely. I'll block it off YouTube. I'll block it off Twitter or Facebook, wherever I'm on, and I don't want to see any of it because, like, you know who used? I think I complained about it to you before. IGN was really fucking bad about like basically live tweeting the show as it's airing when it was done premieres, and that pissed me the fuck off.
So
that used to be a thing though.
That is the thing is. I feel like if especially back in the Game of Thrones era when it was kind of like appointment TV and it was airing at Sunday night, like stuff like that is treated like a sporting event. No one gets mad at anyone for spoiling a touchdown or spoiling the Super Bowl or spoiling the Olympics is a weird thing because like it's obviously airing in Europe or it's occurring in Europe and then they air it at night in the US. But it's like, well, if you just go online, you'll know who won. So it is like a weird. I guess the olds, like, I don't know, like your grandma probably doesn't know what's going on in the Olympics. So if she tunes into NBC at 8 p.m.
I think there should be like a law written in stone that you can't talk about a show episode until like 24 hours after it airs.
Oh, I disagree.
It should be the 11th commandment.
I think a movie is different. I think a movie.
What? They're all movies now.
No. But the movie you have to leave your house.
Well, somehow I didn't get spoiled on the Red Wedding, and if somebody had spoiled for me like 5 years after it happened, I still would have been angry. So
would it have really not been good though? Like
it
I also wasn't spoiled on the Red Wedding, but like I feel like it still would have hit.
No,
maybe not 100%, but like 90%, right?
Dude, I remember watching that scene. I was up on I had just finished college and I was watching the scene up my childhood bedroom, and it happened. And then my mom or dad opened the door, and I was sitting there like, "Oh, what?" If I had known what was coming, that would not have been right. Like I was sitting there dumbfounded.
Yeah. Man, Game of Thrones is really good. We got a couple Patreon messages that came in. Remember, if you're a part of that $5 tier or above, you can contribute to each episode every week, including folks like Evil Overlord. The aforementioned Evil Overlord, who I mistakenly said has played Avowed 60 times, said post-game awards, a lot of people started playing Expedition 33 and joined the subreddit. They were told to leave ASAP to prevent spoilers. That's a nice community. Because I do think the subreddit for Claire Obscure should be a spoiler safe zone. Like spoiler anything goes zone, right? Like if I go to the Silk Song subreddit, if I go to
they're going to be talking hardcore Silk Song.
If I go to the Game of Thrones subreddit, I should assume it's people who read the book and know. And also Game of Thrones spoils its own shit. Like Game of Thrones has spoiled the ending of House of the Dragon and Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like it tells you how those characters die in the show Game of Thrones. You just didn't know who people they were because...
God damn it, Marty.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to sit down for this. Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, though, does that not somewhat come off as hostile to newcomers? Like, if you have this contingency of people who are saying, like, you're not ready for the discussion, just like, what if, like, maybe they should make a space for the folks who care about that, as opposed to kind of separating the two. Like, I don't know. I
would say some of those subreddits are actually really good about marking spoilers. Like they make you they have specific rules that you have to like black out your title with like their tags if it's a spoiler related thing. And then
or blur image or whatever.
Yeah, and I know like I go to like the subreddit sometimes for shows that I watch to just read the episode discussions after they're done, and they're really good about blocking any spoilers there. But I would say those communities are actually relatively safe to go to if you're not worried about being spoiled.
Yeah, it's funny. Jess in the comments says, I've gotten yelled at for spoiling games by showing footage included in official trailers a weird number of times. I don't know. I don't know if they were goofing or not. Someone before we went live was angry at our thumbnail. And I'm like, it's literally the key art of the game that I asked Pat Manathan to put a blurry filter over. Like, that's not secret. That's just the key art. I don't know. That's just the game. Like, I don't know. Like, I do think sometimes launch trailers, Square is guilty of launch trailers spoiling way too much shit. Like there
I don't watch launch trailers anymore.
Oh, I'm not going to watch the Resi 9 launch trailer. Like, yeah,
I stopped watching movie trailers. Aside from like the initial reveal trailer, I don't watch movie trailers that are leading up to release anymore because they tell you the entire fucking movie. Every cool action scene in John Wick is basically in the trailers. Like, it's so annoying. You know who's really good about their trailers? A24. A24 does really good trailers.
Yeah, it's kind of like moody tone piece trailers, right?
A24 goes too far in the other direction. Like I see one of their trailers, I'm like, what the fuck is this movie?
Or you go in like expecting like a slasher, and you're like, there's no one's even getting killed in this movie. This trailer lied to me.
Right, this trailer is very deceptive.
Yeah.
Also, their horror movie trailers are like that.
Oh yeah. Also in the Patreon, Tommy Salty. Thank you so much, Tommy. I don't mind spoilers, as I usually don't care about stories in games. If it's a good story that's spoiled, I still find I still find enjoyment leading up to the climax. I think that the only kind of story spoiler that can affect me in a bad way is a dumb twist. I knew the twist of Mass Effect going in, and I still loved it for the gameplay loop, not for the story, so I might be biased. I mean, we've been guilty of like 12 minutes became a joke with us of kind of the end of that. Even if any of us haven't played it, we probably know the end of that game because it is so silly. Yeah, so I guess.
But that's a game that hinges on its story. Like it has gameplay in it, like adventure game gameplay. But the whole thing is really about its story. So when it's hooked,
it hinges on something. I don't know about a story.
Yeah.
when like its twist is like kind of its whole magic trick.
Yeah.
Then if you knew that first, then you would basically take the magic away.
Yeah. That's what Angel Nickel also in the Patreon said. Sometimes spoilers make me want to play a game more, like with subversive games that aren't what they seem, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Usually there are games that I wouldn't have played, like Doki Doki or Frog Fractions, or games I had interest in, but ended up being pushed up to my list due to spoilers like Inscription or Slay the Princess. I think spoilers for games only ruin them if I don't like the revelation, like 12 minutes, or most David Cage games. There you go. Yeah.
Does it say something about you if you like the spoiler from 12 minutes?
Listen, I'm just saying Jaime and Cersei are my favorite characters in Game of Thrones. Don't read into it. You don't need to read into it. I just think Starcroft's lovers are neat. It's a real Romeo and Juliet, a real will they, won't they.
They're more crossed.
There's some crossing of something in there.
Yeah. Those lovers might have crossed one too many times. That's funny.
Some regular terrestrial crossing going on.
A couple super chats came in. Nick Knoll, thank you so much for the $5 dono. Yahtzee is the guy who will blurt out a spoiler and then spoil 3 other things trying to explain how the first thing wasn't a spoiler.
No, he will. He'll be talking about The Last of Us Part 2, and he'll just go and spoil Horizon Zero Dawn while he's at it.
I mean, but with that, there's a statute of limitations, right?
Like it's probably different for everyone.
It's different for everyone, and it's different
for posting online. Yeah, I was gonna say for posting online, there's probably statute limitations. But if I tell Yahtzee, hey man, I've never played Resident Evil Code Veronica, and you're just like, oh well, here's everything that happens in the story. Now I hope you go enjoy it, asshole. Then maybe not.
I played that game like 5 months ago, and I was gonna do a goof to spoil something, and none of it stuck with me. I think the main character is both a brother and it's like he cross dresses as his brother and his sister. I believe that's the only thing I remember from the game.
And to be clear, Yahtzee would do that exact thing.
Yeah, Yahtzee would remember it too. Is the problem? He's got a good memory.
He would.
No, why can't I find these headphones? The statute of limitations thing is interesting because I do think it can ebb and flow. I would say The Last of Us Part 1 in 2020, leading up to Part 2. The Last of Us Part 1, the statute of limitations on spoilers, in my opinion, had lapsed leading up to the second game. In 2020, 2021, you could talk about spoilers in The Last of Us Part 1. When it started to air on HBO, I think the statute went back up, like, came back. You can't do spoilers anymore.
They put that genie right back in the bottle.
It's weird. Like it's like there was a little window where you could spoil it. Now it's like you can't spoil it now. Which is
maybe that's why Sony kept remaking it, is because they wanted to keep that magic.
That's the secret.
Keep the discourse going, baby.
That's the secret. Waiting for Seaman 2. Thank you so much for the dono. I had to pre-read this one because of how it starts. Don't worry. I was able to get an early copy of Resident Evil Mine. Couldn't believe the ending where Chris suddenly appears and tells Leon, I finally found you. It's time to continue the Redfield lineage. It was so emotional. I cried. If those two just banged out at the end of Resi 9, that'd be fun. A lot of people get mad at it. I think it'd be fun. Chris is too bulky, though. Nah, I'm not saying bulky people can't bang out. They're all too bulky. You think they're all too bulky?
They're all too bulky in Resident Evil. Ada Wong?
Yeah.
Have you seen those calves?
Oh my god, Ada's great. I really hope Ada's in this new game. She's got to be in this new game. You can't make a game with Ada without, or you can't make a game without Leon. You can't make a game with Leon without Ada. However it works, she'll be here. It's fine.
Are they like the same person? Are they cross-dressing brother and sister?
You know what they say? Two Wongs don't make it right. Her name's Ada Wong. I made that joke every time someone would say her name while I was playing the game. I'd be like, you know what they say? Two Wongs don't make it right. No, they got like a will they won't they? They're like a Sam and Diane. They're like a Jamie and Cersei.
But they always will.
But they always will. Witticism. Jeez. Thank you so much, Witticism. $5 dono. I spent years avoiding information about Inside because I knew that the game takes a left turn at the end, but I didn't know what. Never would have guessed that. I mean, that is like a... Like, do you think it is...
Hear about this game?
That's fun.
Do you think it's rude to... Not rude. Do you think it is... fair or unfair to be like, oh my god, wait till you get to the ending? Is saying wait till you get to the ending a spoiler in and of itself?
That's great. That's gray area.
No, it's
because sometimes it's like
you're telling me it's a good ending. That's a spoiler, or a weird ending.
No, because it could be they could say that because memorable. It's a bad ending.
Yeah.
All you have to say that because I have to do this with my mom all the time because she'll be watching something. We'll be watching something. She's like, what's this? What's that about? I'm like, you'll find the fuck out. Just watch the damn show with me.
But that's
folks like
that's
what's
different.
Yeah,
that's different than like as part of your.
Well, somebody asked you, and is the ending good? Yeah, is the ending good? Just watch it and find out. That's it.
But what if they don't want to waste time watching it if the ending's bad? They're asking.
They wouldn't be asking you about it then.
But that's the tough. Like going back to Love Eternal, where like, or any of these kind of like. You have to kind of, if I just say, oh, it's like it's a splatformer where the whole mechanic is you can flip gravity. And so you hit a button and you're on the ceiling, and you hit a button, you're back on the ground. Mm-hmm. That's not the reason to play the game. The reason to play the game is a spoiler. And so like I have to gesture towards it, right? I don't want to say
you're
but
correct,
like,
though. You get a free pass.
I've been yelled at so many times. Someone once threatened to kill my girlfriend because I didn't like Final Fantasy 13-3 enough.
Just taking strays over there.
She thought it was very funny. Did not die. So there you go. I think I gave the game a 7, which I feel like was a nice score. That was good.
That sounds about right.
Good. That's higher than most, wasn't it?
It was higher than most. You got the Final Fantasy bump from me. I was like, oh, I had a chocobo. Great, good job. You get a 7. King Dead, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Spoilers are mostly an issue if the topic is treated as a surprise and when it shows up in the media. Yeah. I mean, that's also like so far they've for Final Fantasy or for Resident Evil 9, they've just shown off like Leon and the new character, and then a little bit of in one trailer another legacy character. But like people are assuming, like they've said in interviews, like, oh, this is like the end of an era for this game. So like I don't know, there's an assumption that a bunch of old characters are going to come back. You know, it's almost like the same thing in like these Avengers movies. Like I kind of just assume these upcoming movies, no one's off the table. Like literally anyone who's ever played a superhero could come back in it. Like I don't care if Scarlett Johansson got like thrown off a rock, they'll pay her enough money to come back and she'll play like evil Black Widow or something.
Your head magically healed.
Blacker Widow?
White Widow?
No, I thought that was her sister.
Oh, is that her sister?
Is the new one
not called White
Widow?
She's just called, what's her name? Florence Pugh. She's great. By the way, I think she's delightful. I think she's so good.
She's good.
What is her name? Yelena Bolonov.
I thought she was, I don't know. She dressed exactly the same as Scarlett Johansson, but in white. I assumed she was White Widow.
There you go. It seems like the safe thing. And then SP Rocks, thank you so much for a $10 donor. Would spoilers still be a stigma if we didn't announce them as spoilers? How can someone's enjoyment be ruined if they didn't know the significance of what was being talked about? I do think that's a way to do it. It's like the same thing of like a kid falls down and bangs their head on a table. And it's kind of like, adults, don't worry, just kind of giggle and be like, oh, you're fine. And the kid will be like, it's fine, and keep running. But if you are like, the kid's going to start crying because they're scared. Also, they might have just
there's some truth to that.
Concussed. Yeah.
Walk it off.
This is where I get super angry with YouTube commenters. Because they'll be like, that scene you showed is a spoiler. It's like, nobody would know that if you didn't point it out, asshole.
That is one thing of like, you show what you showed is a spoiler. Like, no, you saying that is a spoiler.
You know it's a spoiler. Like, nobody else.
Because you know the context of it. Yeah.
So leave those comments to yourself, commenters.
Except if you're liking and subscribing, then comment just to your heart's desire. Just comment your fucking eyes out. Do you guys have a memorable I wish this wasn't spoiled for me thing? Not even in games or movies or anything. Like, do you have a like, fuck, I wish you hadn't told me about this? I got the fact that statute of limitations up for the 2015's The Force Awakens. That started off as a question. I am stating now. The statute of limitations for 2015's The Force Awakens is up on a walk with a group of coworkers. I was the only one who did not see it the previous night because I had to work trivia. I had to host trivia at the pub I worked at. And I was the only one of that group who didn't see it the previous night. We were going that night. And suddenly and we knew on that walk, like, don't spoil the movie. And everyone was like, yes, we're not going to spoil it. Marty hasn't seen it. And someone said something, and then someone made an offhand joke about someone's like, I'm going to fucking kill my dad. And they're like, oh, what are you, Kylo? And I'm like, why did you say that around me? Look, I didn't realize. I forgot. I didn't realize it. So that was the one. Going into that movie and knowing that Kylo was going to kill Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the morning.
Also, it wasn't like that wasn't a great joke either. So like, doesn't even make it worth it that you got spoiled.
I think the landing was better. I feel like I'm in my anger. I'm like washing away some of the humor. I do think it might have been a good goof. that I took some shrapnel from, but yeah. Do you guys have any that you remember?
I wish somebody had spoiled Rise of Skywalker for me, so I wouldn't have gone to see it.
Well, how do you spoil it? How was returned?
Yeah, Fortnite did that. Well, that was the worst spoiler ever. Actually, you're right. Fortnite did spoil that, and it was bad. It made me upset.
The thing is, I remember getting spoiled about something in a long running anime series. But the thing about that is I take so long to go back to some of these series because I wait for so many episodes to pile up. And like folks that I know will like read the manga and they'll have all the stuff beforehand. So that's where those spoilers will come in. They'll have conversations about, oh, this big thing just happened in the manga. I'll see something that happens way later and be like, oh, fuck. But I'll go so long not watching the show, I literally forget, which is why I can't even tell you what it is the spoiler was.
Was it like an Attack on Titan thing? Because I do remember leading up to its like 15-part finale, everyone who was like reading the manga was like, oh, it's going to fucking suck. You're going to hate it. I'm like, oh, shut up.
No, I remember that conversation, but no, I don't think I was spoiled on anything specific for Attack on Titan.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I learned some stuff about One Piece that I've forgotten at this point. I learned some stuff about My Hero Academia that I've forgotten at this point. So I think if you get spoiled, just kick that movie down the
honestly, the older you get, the worse your memory is going to get. You can, like, there is a treatment to being spoiled on something. It's just wait long enough and your brain will just flush it out.
Completely forget. Yeah.
I was spoiled on, I think the most recent one I can remember is Gears 5 and the choice you have to make of who lives and who dies. Yeah, I think I was spoiled on that because of YouTube thumbnails, and I was pretty pissed about that. But there was a time, I think it was like not long after The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and like people were being really like I think out of all spoiler culture, like that was the worst it was ever.
And it was pre-release.
It was pre-release, and people were just like taking a paragraph Yeah, they were just because they were so mad over the culture war shit. They were just taking like a paragraph and copy pasting it over and over and over again in every live chat they could. That pissed me off. I was so fucking mad about that.
Yeah,
like just worst of the worst people being assholes.
Bunch of weenies.
Yeah,
bunch of weenies. And then SG004, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Statute of limitations on a spoiler is hard to justify because we have newer generations of people who may not have been around for the original release. I do agree with that, but also like we could talk about The Empire Strikes Back, right? Like, we should be able to talk about the fact that Darth Vader is Luke's father. So I do feel like it's one of those things when we argue about, we all agree there should be a statute of limitations. None of us agree what it is. It's the same thing about like, we all agree the Game Awards could be better. None of us agree how. You know, we all agree indie doesn't work, but none of us agree on what an indie game is. So it's.
I have two golden rules. Like if I'm watching a show or if I'm gonna play a game that has like heavy story spoilers, I just mute everything I can from social media about it.
That's good.
And then 2, if I'm playing a story heavy game or watching a show or movie, I just ask the person straight up, have you seen or played this before I say anything about it?
Yeah.
Like that's literally it. Obviously, if we're making a video about the story of Fallout 4, then you know what you're going in for. And if you get spoiled, well, I'm sorry, that's your fault.
Sure.
It's like,
yeah, I don't think I can't recall a time where you've spoiled something like out of pocket.
So, no, because I'm not.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think it's. I honestly don't think it's that hard not to do. I don't feel like any of us generally stumble over spoiling things for others by accident. Yahtzee's doing it on purpose though. For him, it's a bit.
He just talks.
I appreciate it.
It's funny.
To be honest, I always appreciate a bit.
But in terms of just that statute of limitations thing, it got me thinking of like the Simpsons has spoiled a ton of old media for me in a way.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't know what these things were. I just heard the references and they were part of their jokes. And then later on, I would learn where they came from. Yeah. Does that count? Because it was before my time.
But I mean, I didn't feel like the Simpsons lampooning Citizen Kane or The Shining.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can cut that as a spoiler.
Red Drum is murder backwards. I don't know what the fuck that's from, but that's a spoiler. It's definitely was the hook of something, right? I learned that from The Simpsons.
I learned so many things from The Simpsons. It is kind of shocking. Right. Any other last spoiler thoughts before we move on to what we've been playing?
That would be a spoiler to tell you.
Let's jump into what we've been playing. Nick, you rolled credits on Nioh 3 over the weekend, is that right?
I did.
Oh, dang.
And I feel like this is the third week you've talked about it, and I feel like the first week you were kind of like, meh. The second week you're like, all right, it's grown on me, still a little bit weary, but it sounds like you've changed your tune.
Yeah, no, I came away, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think it's had some of the best boss fights in any Souls-likes I've played. Casey, you haven't been around for the last 2 weeks on it, but did you play Nioh 1 or 2?
I played the demo for 1, and I liked it a lot. I just never played any of the rest of them after that. I own them. I just haven't touched them.
I've tried both of them, the first 1 and 2, and the reason I really bounced off them is I just don't like the mission structure that they do, because there's, I don't know, for me to really enjoy. Yeah, sort of, and then there's all kinds of side missions you gotta do to get gear and everything, but I play Souls-likes not only for the combat but for the discovery aspect of the exploration and all that. And Nioh 3's big change is that it's big open zones that you go into, and not just straight up missions through a menu structure. So there are little open worlds and 4 different maps that you get throughout the game. And so I ended up really coming to love it. It's condensed Elden Ring, basically, where each zone you go into kind of has, an area that you need to get to off in the distance. That's kind of is your guiding light, and you can go there right away if you want, but you're probably gonna be under leveled and it's gonna be really tough. So what do you do? Well, you go explore and do all the extra missions and all that stuff and get your gear and level up. But what they do a really good job of in Nioh that I think is almost better, on par with Elden Ring is like everywhere you went in Elden Ring, there was kind of a purpose for it. Like you would find an upgrade, crafting material, whatever it might be. And Nioh 3 follows that exact same thing where, there everywhere you go, there is something that's going to level your character in some way. Give you a new ninja point or a samurai point, give you a new piece of equipment, give you find like the little Korok looking guys and upgrade your gourd and stuff like that. So it gives you a reason to explore every inch of the map. And there's all kinds of side bosses to go to that you might not even see if you just follow the main path. So I really like that, like, even though it's like Elden Ring isn't really level gated anywhere, like you can kind of go anywhere anytime you want, except for like that second big main area. But in Nioh, like they give you recommended levels that you should be for each area. But if you're skilled enough, you don't need to follow that at all. So like what I think last week I said, like, I still hated the loot system for Nioh because it gives you so much shit. I actually came around to actually enjoying it weirdly. Like maybe not even weirdly, but like I finally understood it. So Nioh is different from like most other Souls-likes in that it doesn't really constrain you to any build. Like if I'm playing with a sword now, I could switch to Odachi later if I want to use that, or a spear, or nunchucks, or whatever the hell they give you. Like as long as you have the equipment that you can kind of mix match all these different things and kind of keep changing your playstyle as you go. So there were some bosses that like I needed a sword so I can fight faster, but there were some bosses that I needed Odachi so I could just do heavier hits and get their health down quicker. And so it was kind of kept varying up how I played the game as I went. So I really ended up appreciating it for that kind of versatility that it gives you and changing up your playstyle as you go. And so like I think the whole first half of the game I played is like mostly samurai, and then the second half I mostly played as the ninja build. And
that's cool.
it kept things fresh throughout, and like the boss fights do a really good job of like making you utilize both the samurai and the ninja form. So sometimes like it will be a straight up duel and you will want the samurai form to just do a straight up duel. And then other times, that boss will change its moveset and it's better to fight it in the ninja form. So
are you able to swap between them on the fly, the samurai and ninja stuff?
it's basically like how you in like other Souls games, like how you break the opponent. So like when they do their unblockable, that's when you switch to you switch your forms when they do the unblockable. And that's kind of how you parry it away. But there's also skills like in the samurai where you can play it just like Sekiro basically. So my build was basically all focused on deflecting everything.
Is it kind of like the Ghost of Tsushima? How like you have those kind of like 4 different
you have stances too. Yeah. The combat system is there is so much depth because not only do you have stances, not only do you have ninja and samurai and the equipment and everything like that, but you also are constantly unlocking like new moves for every piece of equipment. And you have to you can actually go in the menu and like you can change what your triangle button does. Instead of doing a power attack, just a normal power attack, maybe triangle does a different attack. Super in depth if you like really like your build maxing.
One thing either last week or the week before, I think you were talking about how at the earlier point in the game it kind of didn't have that Elden Ring thing of Elden Ring. Some of the best open world games like Elden Ring, it feels like every 5 minutes you discover something interesting, whether it's a small dungeon or a cool boss or loot or like a new site. Does it feel like that stuff started to come along? You felt like you were kind of like underwhelmed by the bosses or like the kind of the smaller dungeons. Do you think that improved at all throughout it, or did the other stuff just make up for it?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say like it has any of those like, oh my god, like look at this castle I just fucking found underground kind of thing.
Yeah, or like the elevator down to the
right
Shifa River basin.
Yeah. I don't. There's not like. Yeah, there's not really anything like. There's not really anything like that. I think it was more like obviously the combat and the bosses that pushed me through, and then just having a reason to explore, to go look for the loot and all that kind of stuff that really kind of kept me going with it. So I mean, it's not like a boring world to be in, but I wouldn't say it like artistically isn't anything near Elden Ring or the Souls games.
Yeah, Casey, do you think you're gonna play it at all?
I
think you would love Nioh 3,
though, right?
No, I would
Like,
just I don't if you do you care like what do you care most about? The combat or do you care about actually exploring and
probably the combat, I'll be honest.
maybe then maybe you won't be as bothered by it. I found Nioh 2 like we streamed Nioh 2 and I found it a little bit too
Yeah, I
repetitive
remember.
as far as you want. Yeah.
They're all Team Ninja, and the one of these that I did actually play all the way through was Wolong, Fallen Dynasty,
Yeah.
and I think there were a lot of similarities with how the progression worked. And I liked Wolong pretty well because it was like mostly combat focused and it streamlined all the exploration stuff, which I wasn't really trying to get out of this. So if Nioh is adding maybe a little bit more, but then it is still very combat focused, yeah, like that might be my bag. But like I really like the first one when I played the demo. I just never went back to it. So
yeah,
like,
I mean
I'm sure
the stories are all
so
it's all self-contained stories. So I mean I would just I would just tell you to skip
Just jump into
those
3?
two and go straight to Nioh 3. Yeah.
all right, maybe I will.
There you go. Yeah. I know you two have also been but jump back separately into Overwatch.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? What is it? Is it because like did the recent update the over? No, that's not me being like, why the fuck would you do that? Just like
No, but
that's
it's
a surprising thing for both of you to do.
No, it
because
is
of the
a
update the
relevant
other week?
question. Yeah, like they announced not too long ago that they were doing two things that were very interesting. First was that they're dropping the 2 from the title, so no more Overwatch 2. They were like, hey, apparently people hate 2s, so we're just going back
God,
to
this guy-
Except Marty.
No, them dropping the 2, I'm like, I respect it. The only thing I respect more than adding the 2 is dropping the 2.
Like, that's where we went wrong. We put a 2 on it, and it was all downhill from there. So they got rid of the 2, but in addition to that, they said that they've added a story mode. So, and that was kind of the big betrayal when they announced Overwatch 2, is that it was supposed to come with like this more single player focused thing. This kind of story element where you would have characters that had like skill trees and upgrade systems and stuff like that. Like very exciting if you were like in the Overwatch community. And that was the big thing that they chopped off when they said, well, we got to get this game out. So it was a big disappointment. Folks were not happy. So now that they're saying it's a story, I jumped back in because I was curious if they kind of delivered on this promise from back then. At least not yet. I don't think that's what's in there. Like there's no single player-esque thing where you go in and
they're not adding
a character and there's a narrative. Instead, it's a collection of a lot of the like the stories that they've had around it just in one place. Yeah, like graphic novels are in there, like the cinematic trailers and stuff are in there for the new characters that they introduce. And this stuff is good, by the way. Like all the stuff that they've released outside of it has been like very high quality, very interesting. So I'm glad that it's accessible in the game. Like that makes sense. But it is still a little disappointing that we're still not getting a game version of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
But they're making the multiplayer stuff a little bit more diegetic in that they recently dropped 5 new heroes. And like those heroes kind of make up members of a new version of the old existing evil faction Talon, as well as like some newer members of regular Overwatch, and they're fighting each other. So like the game modes you queue into are the Talon characters versus the Overwatch characters. And like you're playing and the community is sort of pushing a bar back and forth in terms of wins. And you have to pick one of the sides before you jump in there. And then that's the side you play for while the season's going on. So that
almost feels like a World of Warcraft.
Like a living world narrative.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if by the end of the season, whichever side wins, they'll tell a story that kind of reflects that in the game world. Yeah, and I think that would be cool. And I do find it interesting. So there's a lot of new stuff in the game right now, like lots of new progressions, battle pass nonsense, blah, blah, blah. But they dropped a shit ton of characters. I've only tried 2 brand new ones so far. One was a little boring. I tried the Waterbender boy. He's a healer. Kind of lame.
How do you drop a Waterbender? Like how do you drop the ball on the Waterbender?
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But then there's another dude who reminds me of Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat because he's got a hat that he throws at people. He's also a healer, but he's cool as shit. So I'm having a good time with that guy. Mizuki, yes. He just popped up on screen.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, Nick, how have you been feeling it? Jumping back in.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done any of that stuff yet. I've kind of just, it's like, Overwatch got a big update. I'm curious about it. And I know I've liked it when I've played it. I just wasn't very good at it. So I've been playing it more with my friends now and getting a lot better. So it's kind of nice to have the hero shooter back. And just some people pointed out that cat. I hate that cat. That cat has an ultimate that grapples you, and she just they can just carry you around the map like an asshole, and you're just sitting there flailing for dear life.
They just stole the Jeff the Shark thing from Marvel Rivals.
Wasn't
that the whole thing? Like he sucks them in and then you can drop off.
Yeah, this one's even more annoying because like you can still control your character as she's dragging you away, and you're trying to shoot it to stop it, and it's like you just can't. So you're like, I'm fucked. I fucked.
That's fun. Yeah. That's fun. I like that.
It's very funny. It's very infuriating when somebody's really good at that character.
That's honestly one of the things that Marvel Rivals, like one of the main pieces of Overwatch's lunch that they ate was that Overwatch got so obsessed with balancing everything that like new characters didn't feel as fun because like they were so well balanced. Whereas Marvel Rivals, everyone felt super broken. So it's like the balance is that anyone can kill anyone in like 2 seconds.
The game is imbalanced. That is the balance. Yeah.
Right. So it's cool that they're kind of going back.
Main thing I'm and just enjoying being back in Overwatch 4 is their maps are so good. Like I love the visual style of every map. Like there isn't a map in that game that I like dislike.
Yeah, I mean people forget like Blizzard, dunk on them all you want. Like, Blizzard's still very talented.
When they hit it good.
Yeah.
That sounded weird. That sounded weirdly sexual. Or
it did. It did sound weirdly sexual. I wasn't going to say anything, but you brought it up, and so now we have to talk about it. We have a new.
Now it's a spoiler.
Now it's a spoiler.
Oh no,
a game spoiler. Yeah, I don't know. I like. I would like to exist in a world where, like Blizzard releases games that the Blizzard fans fucking love again. I would love like a world where Warcraft and StarCraft and Diablo 2 got an update. Diablo 2 is a game from when I was in high school, and it got a new character class. Like what? Hell? How do you do that? You can't do.
Aren't there like 2 other Diablos?
There's 4. There's one called Immortal. That's a forever one.
5.
There's one called Immortal. Yeah. What do we do? Like, what if they just went in and like updated? What game was I playing? Diablo 2 in high school. What other game was I was playing? Time Splitters 2 in high school. What if they were just like, oh, we added a new map to Time Splitters 2 on GameCube?
We were supposed to get that new Time Splitters, but Embark shut down the studio.
Yeah, that game was
Embark. Great. No, Embracer.
After, right? Yeah, Embracer brought back Free Radical and then shut them down again.
Yeah, you kind of threw shots fired at Embark there, and I was like, "What'd they do? They didn't do anything. They just made Arc Raiders." It's probably their fault though. And then Nick, you also finished Reanimal.
I did not finish Reanimal yet.
Okay, I have not finished
the other. For me, Yahtzee.
I can't. I'm not him. I'm a different man. I think I'm about halfway through. I played about 2.5 hours, which I think is about halfway through. It's a relatively short game. So far I like it. It on one hand, it does feel a little bit more the same. Reanimal is a new game from, we brought up a little bit earlier, Tarsier, which was the developer who did Little Nightmares 1 and 2. They had a bit of like a kind of a strange falling out with Bandai Namco over the rights to the series, and so they parted ways. A Little Nightmares 3 came out a few months ago. This year,
a couple of months ago from Supermassive. Yeah.
From Supermassive, didn't make too much noise, but then this came out from Tarsier, the developers of Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and it very much does feel kind of like an evolution of that. The big thing for me is it feels a little bit like Eco, which I really like. The areas, it is still a little sad dude in a big scary world. It's a move right 'em up, except everything is open and expansive, and there are certain areas that very much feel kind of open, and you can completely bypass optional things. Like I got to this area where there was like a kind of a boat that was around a big old lake, and there was like a big monster at one side of the lake, and I could not go over there because he would eat me. But then I found this little island that had like a giant cannon on it, and I could move the cannon and point it at the monster, and I put a shell in the cannon, and I tried firing it, and it just didn't work. And I was like, well, I don't know how cannons work. And I moved on and I got to the next area. I'm like, oh, I assume this is where I'll figure out how the cannon works. And I just kept playing. And I'm like, I don't think I'm coming back to that cannon or that monster. Like, I think I just passed whatever that was. So it feels like there's a lot of stuff. If you take your time and really kind of poke around, there's like a lot of like neat little moments to find in this world. What are you thinking so far, Nick?
Yeah, I just, I loved Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Like, I just
today.
Even if it doesn't have a whole lot of gameplay, like, I don't really care. I just love the visuals and like the atmosphere of these games. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just art pieces to me, and that's fine with me. I don't really expect anything more than that. I do think like them making it more explorable adds a lot to what they're able to do, because like the scale of everything is really cool. Like there was you've obviously passed the farmhouse. Yes. And going up that lighthouse, and then the sequence that happens after that, seeing that everything. Great. Yeah. There's some like really they do a really good job of just like making those moments that like kind of inside like moments where you're just gonna remember like that specific thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Without spoiling,
that was probably the most memorable. That was probably the most memorable moment of the first half. I would say, but yeah, I also like the games don't outstay their welcome. Like it seems like it's like a 4 or 5 hour game, which
shouldn't be.
Some people might complain at, but I'm like, yeah, that's just good. Like a horror thing doesn't need to be that long. Like if a horror thing ends up being 20 hours long, like it's a very long time to kind of calibrate. Yeah, Alien Isolation, some of the Resi games. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna finish that this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I plan to finish that as well.
Hell yeah. You've been playing single player, I assume, because it is multiplayer.
Yes. Yeah, yes, I don't have friends.
I have a friend. I don't want to make him play Reanimal, but yeah. I move at a weird pace in games, and so I don't want to subject anyone else to my weird pace, because I will very often just like wander off and be like, look at this. This is a weird rock. And I'll look at the rock for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to make one of my friends look at this rock for 5 minutes. That's not how friendship works.
Look at the textures on this.
Look at the rock. Anything else you watched or played, Nick?
I'm continuing to watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
It's really good.
I think is a fucking incredible show.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like, obviously, without spoiling anything, the 5th episode is the penultimate episode of the series of this season, and I don't think I've seen medieval combat outside of like a Ridley Scott film portrayed in such a brutal, dirty, nasty manner, and I just was like hooked on the screen like the entire time. I just couldn't, like, cringeworthy like brutalness to it, but also like just the griminess of it was fantastic.
Completely agree.
I just love how like self-contained the story is, and like it's kind of slowly expanding as it goes into the larger, Game of Thrones world, and I really dig kind of. It almost feels like you've been going through like like one of those siphon tubes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You start, but reversed. Start small and then it's expanding out as you go. So I really appreciate the pacing of the show in that way. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming, I don't know if is this supposed to be a multi-season show?
It is, because this is based off a series of novellas about Dunk and Egg, but they kind of jump through their lives. So one of the ideas for the show, they said, was to do a few seasons, and they said in a perfect world, take 10 years off and come back when Egg is older, and then take another 10 years off. And I'm like, well, first off, there's a good chance Warner Brothers won't exist in like 20 years. So we can't do that. I appreciate like the thought of like, all right, this kid's going to play Egg when he's an adult in 30 years. But we're definitely getting more seasons though. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. I will say, like, whoever does the casting for Game of Thrones, like, just give them all the money. Give them all the, like, they cast perfectly.
Even every show. Like an episode, they're just I think they just find
I've never seen
British like theater actors.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen like 90% of these people, and they're all incredible.
Yeah,
they're just crawling over
the first
Game
of Thrones. It was like Sean Bean and a bunch of like, who are these people? They'll keep on saying
spoilers.
Spoilers. That's not even a spoiler at this point. If he shows up, you're like, "Oh, he's not long for this world."
That's just his role.
Yeah. Casey, have you watched any of it? Or
no, I'll be honest. I watched the first season of House of the Dragon and was a little underwhelmed. Like I liked it, but like it just didn't like bite me like the first series did. So like everything following that.
This one.
Yeah,
like, it sounded like it's different enough.
Comedy to it.
Yeah, I'd say
I just pants in the first episode. Spoiler.
Also,
that doesn't appeal to me at all. Like you're unselling me on it.
The second episode has one of the fattest dongs you'll ever see in your life. Like it is also an alarmingly huge dong.
I don't think I'm going to watch this.
Okay, well, we tried. It is funny though, because the one thing I would compare it to, which I'll kick it over to you now, Casey, is if you have Game of Thrones fatigue, I think this is a cure for it in the same way Andor was for Star Wars. And I feel like in the same way Wonderman is for Marvel, which I know you watched. Tell us about Wonderman.
Yeah, that's an interesting analog there because Wonderman is absolutely self-contained. It at the same time absolutely has threads into the greater Marvel cinematic universe, but it's a story that is just about what's happening with its characters. And it's just a fun story. Mm-hmm. Like it's barely even about superheroes. It's about superheroes kind of tangentially. And it is fun what they do with its link to like heroes and powers and stuff. But it's really just about struggling actors and like the relationship between these two struggling actors. And it was just really fun to watch. Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character, Simon, he's really good. He's really good as an actor playing an actor, which it's got to be like one of the hardest things an actor can do is I'm acting and now I'm going to act like I'm acting either good or bad. Either one of those things. Like that's crazy that you can kind of do that at that level. He's fantastic. I want to see him in more shit.
It's crazy how good, even like from the get-go when he's like trying to do that episode of like Grimm or whatever that show, like Charmed or whatever kind of show it is, and he's like way too in the head of the character, and eventually like we're gonna fucking just cut this character. You're asking too many questions.
Write this whole scene away. It's really good.
Yeah, really great. Like I would watch 10 seasons of him and Ben Kingsley just bumming around Hollywood, getting into little scrapes and scraps. Like,
see, I think I might disagree with that notion. Like, I think that level of whimsy about this being so self-contained could really only last about a season. They probably could have got more out of this season because it's kind of short. Like, this was what, 8 episodes,
and the episodes are short. They're like
they're like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So they could have got more out of like this particular plot. But I feel like if it was like season after season of them still just trying to do this, I'd probably lose interest. I do eventually want to know more about some of that hero stuff. Like,
yeah, which without spoiling, it seems like if they do make a season 2, that would
like
be
they're gonna have to
more front and center. Yeah.
And basically
season 2 will be about recasting Tony Stark as Doom.
Oh no, as recasting. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. They could do some fun meta stuff with it, but I don't know if they will. I'm also curious, like, when we're going to see him next. Like, I'm assuming he's not in Doomsday. I don't know if he'll be in Secret Wars. I don't know if he'll pop up in someone else's Disney Plus show. Like, which maybe is fine. Like, maybe it's fine if he's.
Wasn't this in like production hell for like a long time too? Like this was like finished forever ago or something.
I think there was something with one of the strikes. Like it was this and Ironheart from last year were like victims of the strikes.
Did that show come out?
Ironheart, and it was also pretty good. It had a fight scene in a White Castle. Okay. It had a fight scene in a White Castle.
It did have a fight scene.
I didn't know that. Really good fight scene in a White Castle.
Ironheart didn't make a lot of sense to me, but it was okay.
It wasn't nearly
4.5 on IMDb.
Yeah, it had some issues. Like I think overall it was okay though.
Yeah.
Wonderman's great. Check it out.
Yeah, completely agree. It's all on there. Wonderman, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I guess Night of the Seven Kingdoms will wrap up this weekend, but 2 big old recos. You been playing or watching anything else, Casey?
Yes, I put some time into Relooted, which is that new sort of side-scrolling puzzle platformer runner heist game. Like it's got a lot of things going on. Yeah. It's a real fun concept. Essentially, you play like a group of individuals who are liberating stolen African art pieces from like the British Museum or just some Anglo-Saxon museum of some kind. They what I really liked about it is they explain everything. They're like, hey, this is the bullshit that these museums are on. This is our reasoning for committing these crimes to right these wrongs. And now I hope you're just along for the ride. Like the vignettes are actually entertaining. Like I think some of the animations it's like a little wonky, but clearly it's like, it's an indie studio. But like I like all the art design, I like the voice acting, and I like the plot so far. I'm still in the early goings of the game, but the concept is pretty simple. Like you're in an area, side scrolling, and it's essentially like a puzzle room where you have to find the best route to collect the item you want to get to, and then make your way out without getting caught by like drones that are chasing you. And it's kind of hectic, and it feels a little bit like an auto runner in that you're kind of just reacting to hazards that get in your way. But I do think eventually you plan out more of that path. Like you have to build that path out so that it is smoother for you. Otherwise, you're going to run into like more hazards and difficulties. And the pace of solving the puzzle of making the pathway is way slower than the pace of doing the actual exit. Like I feel like there's a little bit of a imbalance there where like I wish the puzzle solving aspect moved a little quicker and that the escape sequence lasted a little longer.
Sure.
But outside of that, and again, I'm still early on in the game. Like this might be a thing that evens out over time as the levels get more complex or whatnot. But so far, I am enjoying what they've got. Like I think it's a real fun, unique concept, and the setting is Afrofuturist, so you can't go wrong there.
Did is this a game where you kind of like are meant to fail to learn from it, or like are you able to complete levels the first time through without any problem, or is it like I'm supposed to like keep replaying this several times?
Yeah, so far I'm not getting the sense that it's like a real like splatformer energy where like I have to get this perfect to get this run. And I think that's part of my critique is that it does feel very simple on the exit part, like because the puzzle aspect, and it doesn't make sense because of you're running so far. For you to move as slowly as you would normally to set up this pathway would take a very, very long time. So instead they make like a small section especially complicated. So you do spend a bit of time there. But once you do that sort section, you're kind of just running and reacting to the hazards that are on the way. And those aren't that intricate.
Gotcha.
So like that's what I'm getting at when I say like there's a bit of an imbalance in terms of like the level of puzzle solving and then the escape sequence. I wish there was more to all of it. And I think they could solve that because they have a difficulty level. They have a way of scaling difficulty where you can use a drone in the game that lets you scout ahead and like you can reveal what are in the rooms ahead of you, and you can turn that off entirely if you want to make it harder. So where you would run into rooms and just not know what you're getting into.
Okay, so
but I think
some
if it was
ways to make it a little more.
Yeah, but I don't think that solves the problem doing it that way. Like if you were able to use the drone to solve those puzzles remotely so that your character didn't have to manually walk through and do all the stuff, I think that would actually help that flow a little better. But again, I'm early, so I don't want to be like too critical. Like it could just be like some of the tutorial-esque stuff in it, and like some of this does get more intricate and ironed out as we get deeper. And I do want to keep playing it. I had to pick up something else that I can't talk about that I've been playing a lot of. But I do want to come back to this and give it a lot more time because I do enjoy it.
Nice. Yeah, I've had this. I don't know how it runs on the Steam Deck, but I've had it loaded on my Steam Deck for a little while. I have not got a chance to jump into it. But I'm looking forward to it. Anything else?
Yeah, nothing I can talk about right now.
Great. The only thing I want to talk about, separate than the stuff I talked about already with you guys, is I made a bad purchase.
Again?
Yeah, I know, shocking. And it's here. My Virtual Boy has arrived.
Oh,
it is first so big. I have a really big head, and it's as big as my head.
Yeah, it really is.
I didn't own a Virtual Boy growing up. I wasn't sure. I think I'd played it once or twice, but I am kind of obsessed with the Nintendo's weird history of like gadgets and gizmos. I'm just fascinated by that in like video game history. And so I bought this, and my intention was to stream it. I wanted to like show it off. I was like, oh, it's coming. Like I'll have it for Casey's first stream back. That's what I was planning to do tomorrow night or last night with you.
Yesterday,
there is no way to stream from this thing because you open it up, you open this thing up, and then you just put your Switch inside of it, sans controller, sans Joy-Con, and then you close it. And so the Switch is just in there. So there's no way to plug any cord into this thing.
So you can't like keep it charged or
you can't keep it charged. You can't do it like an HDMI out or anything. And so I was like, well, shit, I can't even like use this as a goof. But
it's a goof now.
It is a goof. But I did play about an hour total of games so far. And I'm gonna play more, because the Wario Land game is actually good. There are 7 games available now. I'll put the link in here to the 7 games.
And these are like the original 7 Virtual Boy games.
These are 7 games. More are coming, including 2 games that were never released. And one of them is like an F-Zero like, apparently, which is, maybe this is going to get you to buy one. Casey, maybe we could become Virtual Boys.
I promise. I promise I'm not buying this.
Okay, well, you don't need to say it now. You can just keep you could just say maybe.
Oh, Casey, do the right thing. Don't be a Marty.
You can say maybe. You don't have to buy it. You just don't have to say you're not going to buy it.
Don't let him peer pressure you, Casey. No. Don't let him.
It's impossible. This thing just looks like a terrible investment.
It has a golf game
with you.
It has a pinball game. It has a scary first-person dungeon crawler where you're in Innsmouth.
I don't know if I want to hear you justify this purchase.
Innsmouth?
I don't know if I want to hear it.
It is called Innsmouth. I think there's like a rat or something running around it. It's by a company called IMAX, and it's I''Max. And I'm like, you're not the big theaters. You're just an entirely different company.
You're unaffiliated with the Keeleys. Get out of here.
It does. Yeah. You don't know that man's name. It does have Wario Land.
Virtual Boy.
Wario Land is a legitimately great game. It's a Wario Land game, which honestly, a little bit of what you were talking about with Relooted reminds me of the Wario Land. Not Wario, I'm assuming has more greedy motives than the characters, and he just wants to get money and fart, and
he's the one who took the artifacts in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So you're stealing from Wario. But the Wario Land game is like legitimately fun. It's a legitimately fun 2D platformer with a really interesting kind of depth of field thing of, you'll come across obstacles where it's like swinging like pendulums that are coming towards the screen and away from screen. You have to go in between them. There's kind of like a foreground and a background that you move between for the platforming stuff. Some fun bosses, some fun puzzles. I'm going to finish that game. I do need to play it in like 20 minute increments because it gives me like a crazy migraine.
Are you able to keep your glasses on when you play this?
I am able to keep my glasses. Yeah. So that has been, more so than virtual
so it's actually
reality.
better than VR headsets.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying Nintendo knows what's going on. And also apparently there's a Labo, like a cardboard version of the Virtual Boy you could buy that like you put on your face. You don't need this, but you build the cardboard thing and then how like they did Labo. You remember Nintendo Labo? So I'm a little bit curious about that one because maybe I could somehow stick my HDMI out into that.
Yeah, it would at least be easier to cut a hole into it if you can.
It's cardboard, yeah.
I do think I know what episode 100 needs to be now.
Just me playing Virtual Boy?
No, Marty's Nintendo intervention.
But I don't want to stop.
I know, that's why you need an intervention.
But the drugs make me feel good. I don't think you're understanding. But I'm happy this exists. I cannot in good conscience recommend this to anyone. And it's not even one of those only sickos kind of thing. I can't recommend this to anyone in good faith.
It's just Marty. It's just recommended.
Just for me, I'm not upset I bought it. Don't, if you see someone
you can at least write it off on your taxes.
I'm not gonna do my taxes. What are we kidding? Who are you kidding?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't need to pay the government right now.
Government has, you know what? Earn my taxes.
Yep.
You know what? When you do something I like,
have my taxes.
Bombing Iran doesn't. You don't get money for bombing Iran. Do something fun. Build a new park, and I'll pay my taxes.
I was scared of where that was going.
It's really shooting out of the hip there. But yeah, that's a Virtual Boy. What is the opposite of a highly recommend?
That was $200.
Did they solve anything about the old one? It was $200.
No, it wasn't. It was $100.
Still too much.
That's better than $200.
I mean, it's better, but
yeah.
But
it's like far worse than $20.
Yeah, that's
not in this economy. What, the cardboard one?
Nintendo Switch. Everything's fine. We're getting Pokopia in a few weeks, and then Tomodachi. Oh my god, Eric and I are gonna fucking live on Tomodachi Island. It's gonna be great.
I got a couple of stupid questions about the Virtual Boy still.
Yeah.
Can you play non-Virtual Boy games in it?
There are a few Switch games that got virtual reality updates on Switch 1 for Labo, including, and I've heard the best of them, which I need to try out, is Captain Toad.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like
because
Captain,
that's
but the
isometric view, right?
Yeah, and so you're kind of like peeking in. The thing is, you would have to literally, I think there was like a red screen in this thing, and I would need to remove the red screen, or else Captain Toad would be
it'll just become red.
Yeah. Think about Virtual Boy. The games aren't red. The screen is red. The games are just regular.
Wait, the games have their own.
Why is the screen red then?
You can change the you can change the color scheme on things. Yeah, the games aren't red.
What's the point? Is that the red screen just for the nostalgia purpose then?
The mid-90s was nuts. You don't know what was going on in the mid-90s. It was lawless.
Mid-90s.
It was lawless. People were just like, what do we, like, Michael, the Bulls keep winning. What do we do? And Miyamoto was like, we just got to make it red for the Chicago Bulls. And so that's why all the games were red. It's incredibly dumb.
Very quick side note. Do you see that like potential news that the Chicago Bears are moving to Indiana?
That can't. I am almost positive they are doing that. I love the Chicago Bears, but they can fucking kick rocks because they're threatening the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago to move across the border to Indiana solely to get Illinois and Chicago to agree to have the taxpayers fund a new stadium in the fucking suburbs of Chicago and Arlington Heights, and they're absolutely gonna cave.
That's what Kansas City tried to do.
It's such bullshit because this family is rich as fuck. They don't need taxpayers paying for this shit.
I'm done paying for
so you think it'll work?
Bullshit.
Yeah,
I think it's 100% gonna work because it didn't work with Kansas City, right? Like Kansas City literally moved, right?
Yeah, they're moving to Kansas.
So wait, will they actually move? Like that's my question. Like, is it an empty threat? Like, is the threat probably
no? I guess they could move, but it would be just like literally across. Like it would be just across the Indiana border. It's like.
Chicago just going to give all that free tax money to Indiana.
Damn, that'd be fine. I think that'd be fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's gross. It's gross. And I hate it all.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
That being said, the Bears are great. Eric said, important question, was the stadium fully funded by tax breaks? Nothing has been funded yet because they wanted, the whole reason about moving is building a new stadium because Soldier Field is one of the oldest stadiums. Just keep the old stadium.
And billionaires can't fund their own stadiums.
Yeah, of course.
Renovate it.
Those poor billionaires.
Poor billionaires.
Before we wrap up, a couple last minute super chats that came in. Eric re-upped in the value tier. Thanks, Eric. Said for a second I thought Marty wanted a segment about comparing dongs. Maybe we do that for the 100th episode. The dong from the second episode of...
That sounds like a windbreaker topic of the best dongs in games.
The dong from the second episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms versus the dong from the Alpha Zombie in the 28 Years Later movies. Because that dude's packing heat.
Is that what made him an Alpha Zombie?
They call him the Alpha Zombie, and I think it just might be because he's hanging a hog. It's great. Inverse Skies, thank you so much with an $8 Australian dollar dono. Is there a point to buying this new Virtual Boy if I already own one?
Like an
No.
original.
Do you already own one?
I don't. Inverse Skies does. Inverse Skies is like
That's
one of the
you.
I would say one of the few people in the community who's even more of like a retro sicko than I am.
Cool.
No, except for the fact that there are 2 games. Oh my god, look what Eric did. He made me red. Did you know Eric could do that?
Eric can do anything as far as I'm concerned.
There are going to be 2 games that were not released on the original Virtual Boy. I do not think this is worth it for those 2 games because there's a good chance they're not going to be good. But I can't recommend it to you, Inverse Guys. I just can't. I can't. I mean, you should, because it'd be fun to have someone else down here in the mud with me. But
is there any multiplayer options for Virtual Boy?
That's a great question. I don't think so, because there's no way for me to hook this system up to another one. I guess there's the internet.
Yeah, it would have to be the internet.
Yeah.
But if the games all came from 1990, then
yeah. And that Inverse Guys re-upped in the Green Gang and said, like, does it not cause headaches like the older one? No, it still causes headaches. Don't you worry. It's
Authentic.
still got that new car.
True experience.
The true experience. So Nintendo stays winning. Only company that stays winning.
I did have one more show. I forgot. I fucking binged and watched. So Casey, remind me, did you watch the original Spartacus?
The one on Stars, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You watch all that? So they released a new Spartacus series, House of Asher, which is like basically.
I heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting thing for a spinoff show where it's basically an alternate timeline where Asher didn't die and he kills Spartacus and he lives on and gets to do his thing. And it's super interesting.
Such a desperate way to keep a show going.
honestly though, like I ended up loving the first season of the show. Like the action is great, the characters are great again. I went in not thinking like this isn't going to be anywhere near as good as the original Spartacus, and I ended up coming out like I can't wait for season 2 of this show. Like just being back in that world with all the action, all the way they write the dialogue in this show. Like Marty, I don't know if you ever watched the original Spartacus, but they speak in like just they try to like imitate old. I don't know. I know Romans didn't speak like this, but
I mean, is it just doing the old English accent thing of like everyone back then had an old British accent, and so we just give it that?
It's not British at all. It's just like poetic writing, I guess, is how everything.
If it's Roman, it should just be a stereotypical Italian accent, like "Oh, mamma mia, cut my leg off."
No, nothing like that.
Yeah, it's just kind of flowery in a way.
It's very flowery, poetic. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Like folks speaking like not puns, but like metaphors a lot and stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah. If you like 300 was basically turned into a show. This is kind of like it has like that same kind of aurora.
I've heard several people have told me I would like it, and it is on my big list of things to get to. Some right after Gangs of London, and before
dope, yeah,
right before Psych. People also watch Psych.
Yeah. Tyriel says, I remember I like their swearing. Yes. Spartacus, especially this show, loves its swearing. Has more dongs than I've ever seen in a TV show. Like I didn't know it was like acceptable to have that many dongs in a show. Like
there's no limit.
2026, baby, no limit.
Yeah, there isn't like no limit. Like I don't know where the Republican Party is over this show. They'd be very upset.
No one's watching Stars. No one's going to try to cancel a show on Stars.
And some of the gore in this show is fucking disgusting, but it's great.
Right.
Just
you saw me on.
Really, really fun show. Just very fun.
Yeah, so all the actors and actresses are new?
Like aside from Asher. Yeah.
So that guy is back, like that same actor.
Yeah, the same actor.
All this time later.
Yep. And the basic premise of the show, like it's not a spoiler to say because it's in the cover art, is like he wants to be the next big thing of the games, just like he wanted to be in the original show Spartacus. Like he, has this he's a Syrian who has aspirations for power and money and all that stuff. And so like the twist of this show is that to make the games interesting again, he brings a black woman into the games as the first woman to be a gladiator. And Like if you were to read the
glass ceiling.
Yeah, if you were to read all the reviews on it, like it's the usual Culture Warriors being super mad about it, but they actually do a really, really, really good job of making it like she's not a Mary Sue in any way. She goes through all the training and everything. It's like brutal. It's a brutal introduction for her into the show. And it was great. They handled it perfectly, and I really loved it. It was like such a unique take on it.
Yeah,
and then they
Spartacus
did a thing at the very end. They do a very
back in the day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and then they do a
this.
thing at the end that made me unhappy, but
He builds a
there was
robot.
another.
Spartacus builds a robot. Spartacus builds a
Yeah.
robot. He fights in the gladiators.
Yeah, it's like Crimson Desert with the fucking mechs in it. So that's
oh my god!
that's the
I meant
next-
to bring that up. We can't bring that up. That's too big of a topic. Like this, I'm dangerously close to drinking the Kool-Aid on this game.
On Crimson
I
Desert, I
shouldn't.
think it's gonna be great.
I just need to hold off because I know
think
it's
it might
not
be
real. But every time I see it, I'm like, what if it's real? What if it's real? This is great. And then they just shift all resources to Dokkaebi. Like, what if everything's going to be fine?
This game's gonna make a
This is just
bucket
the
load of
start.
money.
I think that game's going to make crazy money. But that's a topic for a few weeks from now when it comes out. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. That's going to do it for us today on the Real episode 99. Casey, what do you got going on? What should folks know about from you?
What day is it? Thursday. Stuff. Keep your eyes peeled for just content in the next couple of weeks. Like things will be coming. I got half written scripts. I've got half played games. So at some point, all that stuff is going to start to
All that
roll
shit'll
out.
congeal. Yeah.
Right. So just keep your eyes peeled to this, guys. You know what? I don't know if the wife will be around tomorrow, but whether she is or isn't, I am going to try to hop back on the Friday stream. So look for me there in the evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel, Sigma Gears 9.
You just gonna start streaming Mario Tennis instead of Smash?
Oh, I need to buy that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I forgot that
Playing
came
a
out.
little bit of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I love Mario Tennis.
There's so every
if
time
you
you
have-
do something, you unlock something new.
If you have Mario Tennis, do you want to play me in Mario Tennis?
Fuck yeah.
I have Mario
Let's
Tennis.
play.
I'll play you both in Mario Tennis.
Do you have the new Mario? Oh my god.
I do have the movie.
Episode
Mario
100
Tennis.
inside of Mario Tennis. Just
Like that was a problem with the first game. Everyone just stopped playing it. It never stopped being good. Just all the humans stopped playing it.
we
So-
can single-handedly keep this game alive.
Oh yeah.
I love it. And then Super Smash Sunday back this weekend.
Yes, Super Smash Monday should be back this weekend. Me and
Right.
El Cheshire are keeping hope alive. El Cheshire, he's getting good. He's already shown improvement.
Talented man.
That's all it
beaten
takes.
you yet?
Real
It's
talented man.
Putting the time in. He has beaten me in a match. Yes, I wasn't using any of my mains, of course. So I will throw.
Oh,
that
they
little
don't.
caveat in.
Yeah. He's not good enough
fine.
to actually.
But
it's a
beat you.
legitimate
You
win.
Handicap him.
Isn't
I
it?
know,
It's
it's a-
probably like an honor to see your Padawan grow, right?
Yeah, he's making better decisions and he's getting wins with his character. Great.
Look at that. Good thing you didn't shit talk him because he's in the chat. So
And eventually, he's going to try to overtake you, and you're going to cut off his legs and arm.
yeah.
No, I mean when he gets good enough, then he gets
your main
all
roster.
my mains. Yeah.
Love it. So yeah, that'll be normal time on Sunday, 10:30 Central on Second Wind for 2 hours, and then over at Casey's channel for 2 hours after that. Hell yeah. Nick, what do you got going on? New Unpack
I'll
tomorrow?
have Unpack tomorrow, follow up on the High Guard story, because a lot has happened since I covered that 2 weeks ago. So we'll follow up on that, and then I believe next week I'll be streaming with Jenna if I follow through on my promises again. We'll see.
All of a sudden, Ron Howard's narration comes in. He didn't.
Just depends how I'm feeling.
You said the plan is you're going to bring back game night next week on Friday. Game day.
Game night next week. Yep, we are going to do a game night next week. I had a game picked out, but then the Super Golf Battle came out today.
I've seen some footage of that. That game looks nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I can run people over with a
okay.
golf cart.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 8 people golfing on the same hole, and you also have weapons, so you're trying to golf while also murder the other players. But
I mean,
you also
like,
need
if there
to golf.
wasn't, if like there was a game made for me,
Yeah.
That might be it. I mean, hockey, but golf's close enough to hockey. Hit things with a paddle. Yeah. So
I saw someone was like lining up a drive, and all of a sudden you saw like a nuke go off in the background. I'm like, Jesus!
Hell yeah!
Like, I don't want to go over there. That seems awful.
That looks absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, looks very fun.
Yeah, so I think that will probably end up being our game night game. Sorry, Mike. I know Mike really wants to do that supermarket simulator.
You know what? Supermarkets will be here forever.
Yeah. But golf won't be.
Tune in for that episode of Unpacked tomorrow morning. And then speaking of them, the DevHeads crew will be DevHeads is tomorrow. So tomorrow, DevHeads crew, normal time tomorrow. No stream from me this weekend. I'll be out of town, but on the video front, Eric and I are working on a video about why I think I have calculated the greatest year in video game history. And it's a video all about what year that is and why. So that'll probably be up in the upcoming few weeks. Keep an eye out for that. And that'll do it for us. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat watching live. Anyone watching the VOD, listening on your podcast service of choice, anyone who donated the super chat, and especially all of our patrons. Thank you all so much. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And remember, if you're at that $5 tier and above, you can watch. We have exclusive videos all the time. We had a group video that just went up a little while ago where we watched the 2007 Spike TV Game Awards. And let me tell you, great year for games, real bad year for putting on a live award show. That was a lot of fun. And then, of course, the Bionicle lore read from Yahtzee is up there at the $5 tier and above. So check that stuff out. So yeah, thank you all so much.
Movie night coming up soon?
We do have a movie night. I believe it's going to be next week. I can't remember if we've locked down the exact time, but we'll let the Phoenix tier folks know when that is. Yeah, we'll lock that down tomorrow. Make sure everyone knows. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be next week, but we'll make sure we know tomorrow. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who watched. Thank you for Nick, Casey, and Eric. This was Marty. This was Firelink episode number 99. Everyone have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.